A fresh fight has erupted between the TMC and the BJP over the arrest of Saket Gokhale, TMC's national spokesperson. Saket was detained at the Jaipur airport by the Gujarat police as soon as he landed in the city from Delhi. He's been taken to Ahmedabad today and charged with various sections of the IPC, including forgery, defamation, and making statements that cause public mischief, among others. So what is the matter all about? On 30th of November, Saket Gokhale, quote, tweeted a handle called Dax Patel that had posted what looks like a screenshot of an article in the Gujarat Samachar. We'll try and pull up that picture as well so you have a clearer picture of what exactly that tweet looked like. Gokhale went on to claim, based on that post, that the cost of Prime Minister Modi's visit to Morbi in the aftermath of the bridge collapse was 30 crore rupees, while the compensation to over 130 victims was only 5 crore rupees. The next day, that's on the 1st of December, the Press Information Bureau handle has posted Saket's tweet saying it's a fake claim that has been made. A day after that, that's the 2nd of December, one Bhalabhai Kothari, who's been described as a BJP functionary in various news reports, files a complaint with the Ahmedabad cybercrime cell, saying he was disturbed by Gokhale's tweet. Then on the 3rd of December, the newspaper Gujarat Samachar puts on record that they never printed this news article that was being tweeted. 2 days later, Saket Gokhale is arrested. The TMC is claiming this is nothing short of political vendetta, while the BJP says Gokhale doctored information.
It is very bad. It is very bad and sad. Shakla is a very important and bright man, and for social network he is very popular also, and he has done no mistake. तो हमारा खिलाफ में तो कितना ट्वीट होता है. हाँ, साइबर क्राइम को जरूर देखना चाहिए. ऐसा कोई नहीं होना चाहिए जिसमें जो देश का खतरा होता है और पर्सनल अटैक होता है. We are really sorry for this vindictive attitude. I condemn.
गुजरात पुलिस ने अरेस्ट किया है तो गुजरात पुलिस उसको क्लैरिफाई करेगी क्यों अरेस्ट किया और वो कोर्ट के सामने प्रोड्यूस भी करेगी. तो टीएमसी तो जब भी कोर्ट का बात आता है, कल जब हम देखते हैं कि दिल्ली सुप्रीम कोर्ट में एक से एक वर्कर कपिल सिब्बल जैसे जो अमीर मतलब जिनके बहुत ज़्यादा फीस है ऐसे एडवोकेट जो है उनका खड़ी करती है, तो टीएमसी फिर वहाँ पे अच्छा एडवोकेट दे और उनका जो है जो एलिगेशन है वो कोर्ट को बताए तो कोर्ट डिसीजन लेगा इस पर.
Now, we're seeing more and more how comments, tweets, statements are being cracked down by the law. In what seems like a tit-for-tat move, the Kolkata police has summoned BJP leader and actor Paresh Rawal for a statement he made during a speech in Gujarat while campaigning before polls. He said, and I'm quoting a translation from Gujarati, gas cylinders are expensive, but their price will come down. People will get employment too. But what will happen if Rohingya migrants and Bangladeshis start living around you like in Delhi? What will you do with gas cylinders? Cook fish for the Bengalis? He later backtracked, saying he meant illegal immigrants and not Bengalis, but an FIR has been filed by a CPIM leader in Kolkata. While investigative agencies will go into the merits of all of these cases, and there are several. In fact, too many to list. We'll try and list them through the duration of this conversation. But it's becoming increasingly clear that there is a high price to pay for politically sensitive tweets or statements, no matter who the politician on the other end is. Are politicians developing thin skins? Is this a threat then to freedom of expression? And if netas are being targeted like this for what they say, what about the Aam Janta? Another question, is this truly the best use of time of Indian investigative agencies and police forces? To speak on all of these issues, I'm joined today by Shishir Bajoria of the BJP, Professor Manojit Mondal of the TMC with me on the show. Author Karan Verma is joining me, and I'm also speaking with Tehseen Poonawala, political analyst. Welcome to all of you, and thank you for speaking with us. Shishir Bajoria, first response to the claims that this is nothing but political vendetta. He quote tweeted someone else. That handle was called Dax Patel. Dax Patel has disappeared from Twitter. Saket quote tweeted him. Is this political vendetta?
Habit of misquoting, and this is not the first time he has done it. Once, this time you showed it on the screen, what he said. RTI reveals. And then he puts a picture where he got it, only he knows. But his words were RTI reveals. What will the person reading it get a feeling that RTI has revealed it to Saket? Now, another tweet he has done. Hindus don't normally contribute to riot. That was the message of Hemanta Biswa Sarma. Saket adds his own word as if he's saying that him and puts it as if Hemanta Da is saying, but BJP that incites riots. This is Saket. This he always does it. Anybody reading that?
What? 1 minute, Mr. Bajoria. What he always does, his poor etiquette, in your view, on Twitter and social media, is not what we're discussing today. We're not discussing, and frankly, beyond a point, this is not about one Saket Gokhale.
Tamanna,
We are not championing or dissing one Saket Gokhale. My question is this political vendetta?
This is not political vendetta. If you want to know about political vendetta, I will tell you what has happened. You showed Mamta Banerjee. She's saying, I'm sorry. I would like to ask her, Didi, what happened when a professor of Jaipur University was in jail? Why? Because all that he did, he put up a, a cartoon. Dushtu Chele vanished. This is the famous Bengali movie, Sonar Kella. Second, 4 ladies of South Kolkata amongst themselves were circulating WhatsApp. There were some jokes on Mamta Banerjee. 4 on WhatsApp. The 4 were hauled in the police station in South Kolkata. Is that political vendetta or this? This is not political vendetta.
We have compiled a variety of examples. And this, if you call it excess, you're right, has happened in Kolkata. It's happened in Mumbai. It's happened in Delhi, it's happened in Gujarat. All political individuals and entities seem to have very little tolerance. But Manojit Mondal, here the question is, as your national spokesperson, shouldn't Saket Gokhale check what he's putting out? Has he blindly just copied what this Dax Patel, whoever he has put? On what basis has he claimed this is an RTI? Gujarat Samachar has gone and said, we never printed this article.
How? If I take your argument that someone is spreading false information about a state or a minister or chief minister, then the first person that should be permanently jailed is Amit Malviya. Every other day, he tweets about Mamta Di and Bengal, saying that Mamta Di is hiding figures.
But sir, that's not the question I asked you. Mr. Mondal, you can come to your narrative, but you have to at least first answer my question. Did Saket Gokhale commit a crime? Today, that is the question. You're saying it's political vendetta. On what basis? On what basis is he claiming this is an RTI response? 1 minute. I will ask the question. Yes.
That's what I'm saying. What is the crime? If the Prime Minister is going to Gujarat, is he spending some money, whether the money is 2 crores, 3 crores, 30 crores, what is the crime? Did any was any money spent? And if this is a crime, just to, quote a particular newspaper report, then I'm saying, I'm giving instances. Amit Malviya, during the COVID time, very sensitive, early part of the COVID time in 2020 said, the Bengal government is hiding figures. They're having 1 lakh cases. And he continued to say this. There were TV debates. I participated in these debates. So should this person be arrested? Number 2 instance. Immediately after the election, he started spreading all those fake doctored videos about riot, which are happening either in a movie, Bhojpuri movie, or some other country, saying that this Bengal is burning like Kashmir. Should he be arrested?
Have you filed FIR? Have your functionaries filed FIR?
There are FIRs. I'll give another instance. Nupu Sharma.
5 FIRs were filed. All dismissed.
Stop this person.
1 minute.
Nupu
1 minute.
Sharma
1 minute.
everywhere. Nupu Sharma. And while evidently the people of this country were on fire because of her tweets and because of the comments on TV, where is she hiding now? Did the BJP arrest her? Where is she now? And just because of a tweet,
Mondal, will you answer my question? Okay. I get all this. I get all of this tit for tat. Our Saket is very good there. Amit Malviya is bad. I get it. But at least answer my question. 1 minute. Manojit, at least answer my question, sir. My question is, on what basis has he claimed it's an RTI response? That's the sections against him today.
That's what I'm saying. Even if I'm without going into the merit of the case. Suppose this is a false information. Do you arrest this person? If this is the premise of arresting, that's why I gave the instances where evidently the law was violated because of comments of Amit Malviya, Nupur Sharma, and still they are not arrested. You try and understand the distinction. Nothing has happened because of the tweet.
Why is
quoting a
Kolkata
newspaper
police
report.
called Paresh Rawal? Why is Kolkata called Paresh Rawal summoned him for off-color comments on Bengali and fish?
So in the reverse is, I can ask you the same question, why Mr. Gokhale was arrested. And let me tell you, Mr. Paresh Rawal, if he has not committed any crime, or even if it's a minor crime offense, I tell you, he will not be arrested. Mithun Chakraborty did the same thing during the election. Amit Malviya does every other day. They are not arrested, and that is Bengal police for you. We don't believe in this kind of...
Okay, 1 minute. Quick response from Mr. Bajoria before I move on to other panelists. Yes, quick response from Mr. Bajoria.
Tamanna, this case of Nupur Sharma and FIRs, 5 FIRs were filed by Calcutta police. 5. Where it stands, dismissed. Number 1, he's saying about Amit Malviya's figures lying. Ask him to call out one instance. Number 3, Mithun Chakraborty. What did he say? But basically, my point I'm trying to stress to everybody today on TV. So Vanajit Babu agrees that what Saket did was wrong.
No.
So this is his defense.
But what wrong is not the point. What is the crime Saket Gokhale has committed, Mr. Bajoria? What is the crime?
Tamanna, his crime is that he misleads the readers of the tweet, where he writes, I gave you an instance of Hemanta Da, that Hemanta Da says that BJP incites...
I'm glad you said that. Okay, you are saying his crime is misleading people. 1 minute. 1 minute. Tehsil Poonawala. Okay, we're coming now to the nub of the debate, the crux of the debate. Shishir Bajoria is saying, 1 minute. Shishir, I'll come back to you. Shishir Bajoria is saying his crime, because I'm trying to figure out what the crime is. Saket Gokhale maybe tweeted something foolish. He did not fact check. He did not reassess. He saw some forward or he saw some tweet. He decided to own it. He quote tweeted it. As journalists, we know that's a stupid thing to do.
Yes,
but
I can make a...
my question is, what is the crime? Shishir Bajoria is saying the crime is that he is misleading people on social media. I want to understand if that's the crime.
He's doing it over
and over again is not in the FIR, Mr. Bajoria. That's your view. Let's go by the facts. The FIR is not over and over again. FIR is on this case, where someone has gone and said their sentiments were hurt.
In criminal law,
so that is the genesis. 1 minute. Tehsin Poonawala, yes, your response. 1 minute. Let me just hear what Tehsin has to say. Yes.
Good evening, Tamanna. Thank you so much for having me on the show. And you're absolutely right. The law is absolutely specific. The FIR is for the so-called crime committed. Continuous offences cannot be a part of the same FIR. Those are different offences allegedly committed at different places, different times. So they should be separate FIRs. So if the accused is, if the BJP's statement is the accused is a repeat offender, there should be different FIRs for that. Now coming to what this particular case is, I am stunned because both the BJP and the TMC seem to say that, you know, two wrongs make a right. So the TMC says, look, the BJP does this. The BJP says, look, the TMC does it. And Tamanna, let us be absolutely honest here. Any political party with power likes to crush dissent. Whether it's the BJP, it's the Congress, it's the TMC, it's the NCP. And I'm a Congress supporter, I'm putting that out. So the fact of the matter is that the Honorable Supreme Court came down. It cut out certain laws. It struck down certain laws. 66A of the IT Act, it called it ultra-vires of our constitution, which was brought in by the Congress and defended very, very stoutly by the BJP. The Supreme Court struck it down. It says these laws cannot exist in a democracy. Now, let's come to this specific case. There is a report put out by somebody on Twitter who's now disappeared. Mr. Gokhale tweeted him, tried to take claim of it. Yes, it perhaps he's committed a mistake. He perhaps did not fact check. He perhaps should have waited rather than going for the fame. But that's where it ends. Can you arrest somebody for that? I don't think so. And after arresting, the court is sending him to 2 days in police custody is unbelievable, because he's made that tweet. That tweet exists in public domain. He's not moved away from the tweet. So why do you want his custody for 2 days? Now you want to prosecute him, hypothetically prosecute him. What is the need of a police custody? So all of this is very, very troubling. And again, I repeat, 2 wrongs do not make a right. We have to come up. Today, Karan's on your show. Karan's an author. He and I disagree on several things. Let's assume Karan makes a statement on your show, or I make a statement on your show that may not be factually accurate. Tomorrow, taking Twitter as a medium, they come to Times Now or Mirror Now, and they arrest us for saying something that isn't accurate because we quote tweeted somebody or we quoted somebody on a show. Where is this going to end? In a democracy, in freedom of speech, you rather err on the side of excess than on the side of less. And I think that this is very scary, that this country is starting to stop free speech and starting to arrest people for mistakes that are made. Having said that, you have to be responsible about what you tweet.
No, absolutely, absolutely. What queers the pitch is that we are in the age of misinformation. It has become increasingly difficult, and I think everyone on this panel will agree, our viewers will agree, it has become increasingly difficult to sift fact from fiction. A screenshot may be real, it may be rubbish. Karan Verma, if you take out the politics from it for a second, because I have 2 politicians on the panel, they're undertaking the political fight. The scary part is that is it a criminal offense to yourself be misled? Or if there was malintention, how will you prove malintention?
Very valid question, Tamanna, and some very valid points raised by Tehseen as well. But here, it's a different case in the sense that the intention here is pretty clear. Right from 30th November, when he posted this tweet, he was warned many times and he was even fact-checked, but he did not remove the tweet. So here is where the intention bit comes in. If you are misled or if you do something out of ignorance, fine, that is pardonable. I am a free speech absolutist in that sense. But if you have an intention, like in Mohammed Zubair's case as well, he had an intention to deliberately stoke emotions. At a time when the nation was charged up and polarized, he deliberately tried to make viral those tweets. Back in the day when Nupur's controversy happened. Similarly, Saket very well knew that this RTI reply is a mocked one. He was told this many times, warned about it, but he did not take it down. And let me understand,
told and warned by whom? One minute, Karan, on what basis are you making that claim? Who told him? Did you tell him? Who's told him? How do we know he knows?
Of course he was warned. He was warned by the complainant. By the complainant, the BJP gentleman who's posted this complaint. A formal complaint was issued to him. He did not take this down. Of course that happened. And it was all over the Twitter. Everyone was fact-checking him in his replies everywhere that this is wrong information. But he did not take it down. And he is someone, now that is where the reputation comes in. He is someone who is a dignified troll. Let's put it that way. 4 months back on this network only, I had a debate with Mr. Saket where he was trying to milk the tragedy of Shinzo Abe. And he said, if the Agnipath scheme is not rolled back, something like this will happen in India. And when I checked him, he ran away from the studio. He started ranting and raving. So here is a man who has a checkered past of milking controversies for political gain.
Fine.
And he does it deliberately. So that is
we are talking about, So you are saying Saket Gokhale is a troll. Okay, you're saying dignified troll. He has a checkered past. He said something nasty to you and he ran away from the studio. What is the criminal offense is what I'm trying to understand.
He
Someone's
is deliberately
lousy personality, in your view, bad personality.
Attention, Tamanna. He's
stoking
attention. Stoking tension. He's deliberately
How is it stoking tension? 1 minute, I want to examine this claim. So his claim was, Tehseen. His claim was, his attack. See, you know what? You know what is that? What the underlining question is? Quick response from Tehseen, and then I'm going back to TMC and BJP. The underlining question is, what is the target and the intent? Saket Gokhale, as a political person, is trying to attack the ruling party. Through this, what was he trying to say? That the BJP is spending more on Prime Minister Modi's visit than they actually gave the victims of the Morbi tragedy. What he said was demonstrably fake. Now, here's the iffy part. 30th, he puts it out, and that's why we put that timeline out. First, the PIB, on 1st of December, the PIB fact checks it and says, this is wrong, this is rubbish. Now, I don't know exactly when that Dax Patel tweet was deleted, but Saket, one can assume, safely knew that this was wrong. He didn't take it down.
Yes. Yes.
He didn't clarify that this is wrong, but I still feel Prime Minister Modi is wrong. He could have said that. But the facts that he claimed RTI reveals were wrong. Why didn't he do that?
So let's go with first what Karan says, and I agree. Once you came to know in public domain, and I'll give Karan here the benefit of the doubt. See, when you're on social media, on Twitter, and Tamanna, you know this medium, Karan and I certainly do know it, and you know it well. Once people tag you and you know that it's not... So Saket made a mistake. Let's accept that it was a bona fide mistake, not a malafide mistake. So he made a mistake. There was a RTI put out. It seemed real, and he quote-tweeted it. To that point, it's acceptable. Then people tag you that, look, PIB is clarified or whatever, the so-called newspapers clarified, it's not true. So yes, perhaps you should have apologized, deleted the tweet. I agree with Karan to that point. But no, Saket did not do it. Now, let's even assume it was malafide. So I'm going to the realm that Saket was malafide. Even then, what were the consequences of it? Did it lead to a riot? Did it lead to somebody getting injured? Did it lead to visibly somebody being upset? No. What the BJP complainant, and he's a political complainant, is saying is it caused discord. Now, that is very vague. Again, I'm saying, yes, what Saket did, yes, he made a mistake, he should have removed it. That is how it should have been. Having not done it, he's not led to some riots. He's not led to a tragedy. A tragedy has happened where a bridge is collapsed and the people who constructed the bridge, the owners of that company, still not been arrested. They are still escaped. And somebody who's talking about a tragedy, perhaps in an exaggerated manner, perhaps with malafide, has been arrested. Do we see how bad that looks? Yes, Saket should have removed the tweet, but he's not caused injury. The injury is caused by the bridge collapsing and the owners of that company not being arrested. They are being protected by the government.
Shishir Bajoria, those who perpetrated Morbi,
I agree,
were not arrested on time. But someone who tweeted something wrong, and we're assuming is wrong, on the basis of PIB's claim. We're assuming is wrong on the basis of PIB's claim. Today we've learned that Gujarat Samachar said we never published this news. Where that screenshot came from and who that original Twitter handle was is still a mystery. It's a matter of investigation. My question is, you're saying bad behavior, he does it all the time, he's a troll. Does he deserve to be arrested and sent to 2 days of police custody for this? And again, I'm reiterating, it's not about Saket Gokhale. Tomorrow it could be a BJP functionary targeted in West Bengal. Please understand the bigger picture.
Tamanna, it happens regularly.
That's unfair as well. That's unfair as well. I'm asking why Paresh Rawal has been summoned. What he said may have been in bad taste, but does he deserve to be summoned by the Kolkata police?
For a civil disobedience, 7 of my karyakartas are in judicial custody for the last 15-20 days for a civil disobedience on the streets. This is West Bengal. So now let me answer your question very direct. You had said, what's the targeted intention? And why would somebody do this over and over again? I'll give you another example of Saket. MCD vote the other day. Look at his tweet. What he says, alas, he says that I've shifted my residence to Delhi. His second tweet he does, taxation without representation, sigh. Arey Babu, you don't even know that where you are, that MCD and what you call it a separate New Delhi Municipal Council isn't part of MCD. Arey Babu, you don't even know what the full form.
Shishir ji, इसमें इसका क्या लेना देना है अरेस्ट से? आपको साकेत गोखले के ट्वीट पसंद नहीं, उनको ब्लॉक कर दीजिए. उनको ब्लॉक कर दीजिए.
Give me 30 seconds just to say. Now, whether the magistrate him to judicial custody.
Yes, Manojit, you will be. I'm coming to you. Manojit, I'm coming to you. Thoda patience. Yeah.
Complete is that whether the magistrate sent him to
that's
judicial
not a criminal offense, no, sir.
Bail, we cannot be finding and deciding, like Tehseen somehow seems to be very upset about the custody. Now, this is something for the magistrate. This is not the government.
Process is punishment in this country. Underline. Process is punishment. Finally, jo hoga so hoga. But
And
look
then
at the
may-
time
then may
the
I
law
suggest-
takes. One sec, Monojit
then may I-
Mondal. Monojit
No,
Mondal wants to
Professor,
respond.
what
Let
should
Monojit
be-
Mondal respond. He's been listening patiently. Yes.
I mean, this is amazing that a politician makes a speech. He has got every right to make a speech because we know that Indian politicians from top to bottom, they do exaggerate things. Every other day, you come on television channels, maliciously spread false information about my state, like the one that you are doing right now.
Including Mamata
For
Banerjee?
any civil disobedience,
Including Mamata Banerjee?
please
No,
have some
one minute. One by one,
For
please. Let him
any
finish.
civil disobedience, you don't hit a police officer. You don't
Nobody
stop the
hit.
vehicles of the
Your
ve-
General
vehicles of the
Secretary said, I will
police.
shoot
One
it
minute,
on
one
you.
minute.
Look
Mr.
at
Bajoria,
this
let him
way
have
to
his
debate.
say. Mr. Bajoria, let
This
him
is
have
way
his
to
say, and then
debate.
you will get an opportunity to respond.
I
Yes.
have given you instances of how Mr. Malviya has been spreading malicious information leading to riots. Leading to riots, I say, 2021 after the election. And here, you hounded this person from Gujarat to Rajasthan. You just go there to arrest him the moment he landed in the airport. And you are saying that this is an innocent act? This is pure political vendetta. Because you are scared of TMC and scared of even a tweet. Hey,
1 minute.
if this
Manojit,
happens
I
at-
don't know why you're screaming, sir.
Tamanna,
Everyone can hear you.
Tamanna,
1
if
minute. Calm
this
down.
happens a practice, I tell you. Every
But-
other day politicians will be arrested for spreading false
Don't you
information,
do it.
including my
Don't you
friends
do
on
it in West
television.
Bengal. Don't you do it in West Bengal.
No, certainly not.
Don't you do
I
it
tell
in West
you,
Bengal.
certainly
Let
not.
the two examples. So let me come to. So
I'll
let me
give
come
you
to the two
examples.
examples
I
that
think
Shishir
that is
Bajoria.
the case.
Don't make me
Mr.
scream, please,
Malviya
gentlemen.
And the likes
1
of
minute.
Mr. Bajoria
Okay.
will be in jail
Let's-
for spreading information like the one he did
1
right
minute.
now. He
Mr.
said
Mondal,
that
will
for
you also hear my
violation of civil
question?
disobedience,
Will you
some
also
people
hear
are
my
arrested.
question?
Show me the instance, please. Show me
Okay,
the
okay.
instance. This is also
So he's
false
talking
information.
about this
Should ever be
Jadavpur
filed against
professor.
him.
1 minute. आप सवाल तो सुन लीजिए. He's talking about Mr. Bajoria mentioned about 15 minutes ago about one Jadavpur professor who was arrested in 2012 and a group of 4 women who in their personal WhatsApp group were passing on some messages apparently derogatory of the chief minister, and they were cracked down upon. What is your response to the specific allegations of these two instances, Mr. Mondal?
No, the second one, you are saying apparently derogatory incidents, and that happened.
I don't
if
know.
You remember.
I haven't seen. He has claimed that. What is your response to the claims by the BJP
No,
spokesperson?
do I need to send you that particular message or video or the mock photograph? First of all, that happened during the election of 2019 when the police was under the Election Commission of India. If you remember correctly, if you cannot remember, I am giving you the information that happened in May, June 2019. Please stop this person. Please stop. I am not lying. Please
No,
stop.
no, let him respond. Let him respond. You mentioned two instances of West Bengal. I want him to reply.
Lady is Priyanka someone who is from Howrah. That happened during the parliamentary election. If he is wrong, then please correct him. The only in that case that the police arrested her, and even then we said that this should have been done because the police was under Election Commission of India. Now, and she was not a political person. She is not a political person. She was
What about the Jadavpur? What about the Jadavpur professor? No. 1 minute. What about the Jadavpur professor?
That was again under the law. That was again under the judicial process. The thing is happening. We may not agree with that.
This is under judicial process.
We may not agree with the police action at that point in time. But that's a very old case, and we are always. I come from Jadavpur University. I know this person. He's a good friend of mine. I have plenty of.
No, but what is the point, sir?
The point is
BJP is saying you do it too. Do you do it too or not?
No, certainly not. We don't arrest a person like this. Then every other day, like this person also, he should also be arrested for spreading false information. Right now on your show, saying that because of civil disobedience, show me the instance.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Just because you don't like what someone says, they cannot be arrested. This is sounding like, the queen from Alice in Wonderland. Off with their head. Off with their head. 1 minute. This is becoming ridiculous.
To exaggerate things, and you are arrested for just saying these things.
Tessin, this is sounding like the Red Queen from Alice in Wonderland. Off with their head. You don't like what someone says? Jail mein dalo. Manojit Mondal wants to arrest Mr. Bajoria also on this panel. When did netas become so thin-skinned?
I did not say that. Don't
facts
distort
today.
my words,
Please.
madam. I said that if this is the trend, he should also be arrested. We don't do
okay.
this. If
I
he
am
did to arrest
saying
Amit Malviya for
when
spreading
did,
false
okay,
information
I
during
got
the
your point,
COVID
Manojit.
period,
I got your
did
point,
you-
Professor Manojit. My point is,
Did you arrest Mr. Malviya?
He spoke about the
What you are saying
Priyanka.
that all
Oh,
Bengal is
dear.
having all the
Okay.
cases?
okay,
That
so
was
Mr.
also during the sensitive
Malviya
time.
is on your
That
target
was
in
also
West
during a
Bengal in
sensitive time.
Kolkata.
Yes.
Tehseen, my question
he has been
is,
targeting
my
Bengal
question is, okay,
every other day with
okay,
his false
my question to
malicious
Tehseen is,
information.
when did
Can I say
netas
a lot?
become so thin-skinned? Don't they have to develop a thick skin to be in political and public life?
Absolutely, I agree with you.
Okay,
But can
okay, 1 minute. Mr. Bajoria, Mr. Mandal, now please wait, please wait your turn. I've asked the question to Tehseen. I'm asking, and the fact is all netas are thin-skinned. All netas, including the Congress, including the BJP, including the TMC, some may have more wherewithal to wield the stick than others. But nobody seems to like it and nobody seems to be able to tolerate pricks and barbs. How can you do that if you're a public figure?
That's true, Tamanna. That's true, Tamanna. And before I come to that, you quoted Alice in Wonderland. More than that, I mean, it's actually a horror story if it's not a fairy tale. And it reminds me actually of Red Riding Hood, where the bad wolf wants to eat up everybody who's going through their so-called turf or forest. So this is absolutely a tragedy for democracy. Look, politicians are supposed to have a thick skin. More than that, in a democracy, like I said earlier, is supposed to err on excess freedom rather than less freedom. These are the same politicians who never refrain from lying or making false promises to us as citizens of the country. And today when somebody with mala fide or bona fide interests criticizes them, they've developed a thin skin across party lines. And I say this despite being a Congress citizen. You had a cartoonist thrown in jail because he drew the cartoon of the parliament and the sedition charges. This has to stop. I'll tell you which is a bigger tragedy. The bigger tragedy is lower courts colluding, and I say this with a lot of responsibility, colluding with the prosecution, refusing to give bail until people have to move to high courts and Supreme Courts. Why? It is the job of the lower court in this particular case. Why should he be 2 days under police custody? Dena hi ek din judicial custody de dete. What is police custody in this? Why does he deserve police custody? And this is terrible, terrible for democracy, terrible for freedom of speech. I have one more point to make. Until we don't stand up across party lines and ask our politicians to be held accountable to stop using this weapon against us, soon everyone will use this against everybody, and the day is not far, it will come on TV channels from social media. Right now, they're targeting social media. Tomorrow, they'll come on debates like ours. They'll say, oh, we don't agree with what Karan said. We don't agree with what Tehseen said. They were factually incorrect at this point, and we'll arrest them. Where does this end? You have to stop this. Politicians must develop a thick skin. I still say, verify and tweet what you did. You could make a mistake. To err is human. Apologize for it. But Saket did not kill people.
And if you're called out, and you have made a mistake, you should have taken it down.
People died because the bridge collapsed.
Karan Verma.
Yes, and perhaps that was mala fide. But he did not hurt anyone. He hurt the government. And that's fine.
Okay, it's fine to point fingers at the ruling government. It's fine to point fingers at your political opponents. It's fine to point out mistakes, real or imagined, against netas you don't agree with. If you stop that in a democracy, then what's happening?
No, I agree with that. Of course, dissent should be welcomed. But let's understand this, Tamanna. If there is an anti-social element out there who is purposely, I'm not saying it's Saket or anyone, I'm not pointing fingers at an individual, who is purposely trying to stoke tension, trying to incite violence, or trying to create some sort of a division in society, then there should be provisions within the law to put them under detention as well. That's all I'm saying. We cannot have a broad brush.
The provisions, you know what the problem, Karan, is? The provisions are there. They are unending. The IPC is littered with provisions to put people in. All of the language is very vague in definition.
That is what needs to be addressed. That is the
It's
crux
very
of the
vague.
matter.
All of the terms you've used,
Cannot be
stoking
arbitrary.
tension, mala fide. You have to prove that in a court of law. You know, just on that note, when we're talking...
Which is why I agree with Tehseen that he should have been in judicial custody. There was no sense of a police custody of 2 days. That limited point, I completely agree with Tehseen. But we cannot let this go by. If someone is deliberately trying to create a tension, this must be addressed. Because ours is a...
Manojit, I can't hear you. I think you're on mute.
No.
Manojit is trying to say something. Yeah.
Yes, I'm trying to understand. Suppose he has spread in false information. How has that led to law and order situation on the ground?
So do we want to wait for that day?
Reasonable?
Yeah.
No.
That's
Do
right.
we want to wait for that day?
Can I come in? Can I come in?
Then if I then ask the question, what have you done to Nupur Sharma? Then I'm wrong. But evidently
Can I
the
come
country
in?
was on fire.
Can I come
What are
in?
you talking about?
I'm going to wrap this conversation. It's now no longer going anywhere. With a limited point, okay. I have to take a break, gentlemen. I have to take a break. I have to break, but I'm going to wrap with a limited point. Just a few hours ago, the law minister has said that in lower courts, we are likely to hit 5 crore pending cases of litigation. That's the backlog in the Indian judicial system, 5 crore cases. We need to pick which ones deserve to make it.
How many journalists were arrested because of this kind of comment? Ask the BJP. For every
So limited police force, use them to crack crimes. I'm going to take a break. And